Canada is bracing for the possibility of a full-scale trade war with the United States, which has long been one of its closest allies and a primary trading partner. The looming threat of tariffs from President-elect Donald J. Trump has prompted Canadian officials to develop a comprehensive strategy that could significantly impact a wide array of American exports. The trade relationship between Canada and the United States is intricate and deeply intertwined, characterized by decades of economic collaboration. As two of the largest economies in North America, they rely heavily on each other for goods, services, and resources. The United States is Canada's largest trading partner, with billions of dollars worth of goods crossing the border daily. This mutually beneficial arrangement has been threatened by the recent political climate, which has introduced uncertainty and tension into the economic landscape. Donald Trump has made headlines with his outspoken stance on trade, particularly his intention to implement substantial tariffs on imports from various countries, including Canada. His proposal to impose a sweeping 25% tariff on all Canadian goods imported into the U.S. has sent shockwaves through Canadian political and economic circles. Such a move could have devastating effects on the Canadian economy, particularly in sectors reliant on exports to the U.S. In light of these threats, Canadian officials are actively preparing a multifaceted response. They have outlined a three-stage plan aimed at retaliating against U.S. exports should Trump follow through on his tariff threats. The strategy is designed to be both precise and impactful, targeting key sectors of the American economy to maximize pressure and encourage reconsideration of the proposed tariffs. 1. Monitoring and assessment. Canadian officials have indicated that they will wait for Trump to finalize his actions before implementing their response. This cautious approach allows Canada to gauge the full extent of the tariffs and strategize accordingly. Trump has suggested that he will announce his tariff plans on his first day in office, which is a critical moment for Canadian policymakers. 2. Initial retaliation. Should Trump impose the 25% tariff, Canada plans to commence its retaliation with a series of tariffs targeting a range of U.S. exports. These retaliatory measures are expected to focus on consumer goods, with estimates suggesting that the initial round of tariffs could affect products worth approximately 37 billion Canadian dollars, around 25.6 billion US dollars. This figure underscores the significant economic implications for both countries. 3. Long-term strategy. Beyond the immediate tariffs, Canada's response may evolve into more comprehensive trade restrictions and levies on American goods. This could involve a broader analysis of U.S. products that could be impacted, ensuring that Canada's response is not only swift, but also strategically targeted to inflict maximum economic pressure. The potential for a trade war raises serious questions about the future of U.S.-Canada relations. Historically, both countries have enjoyed a strong partnership, but the introduction of tariffs could strain diplomatic ties and alter the dynamics of trade negotiations. The relationship between the two nations is not just economic. It encompasses cultural, political, and social elements that have been fostered over many years. The ramifications of a trade war would be far-reaching. For Canada, reliance on U.S. markets means that retaliatory tariffs could lead to increased costs for consumers and businesses alike. Industries that depend on exports to the U.S. might face declining sales, job losses, and reduced investment. Conversely, American industries that export to Canada could suffer similar fates, creating a ripple effect that could destabilize both economies. As tensions rise between Canada and the United States, the Canadian government is bracing for an extensive trade conflict with its closest ally, which also happens to be one of its largest trading partners. The stakes are high, and the impact could reverberate across various sectors of the economy. Historically, the United States and Canada have enjoyed a robust trading relationship, characterized by the interdependence of their economies. With billions of dollars exchanged daily, both nations have benefited from this economic partnership. However, the election of President-elect Donald Trump has introduced uncertainty into these relations, primarily due to his protectionist rhetoric and proposed policies. Trump's campaign promises included imposing significant tariffs on imported goods, particularly targeting nations he deemed unfair trading partners. This rhetoric has sparked concerns in Canada, prompting officials to devise a contingency plan to counteract potential economic fallout. If President Trump follows through on his threat to impose a 25% tariff on all Canadian goods, Canada is prepared to implement a three-tiered plan designed to mitigate the economic impact. This plan includes targeted tariffs and other trade restrictions aimed at U.S. exports to Canada. Canadian officials have indicated that the initial phase of retaliatory measures will focus on consumer goods, which account for a substantial portion of trade between the two countries. The estimated value of consumer goods that could be affected is approximately 37 billion Canadian dollars, around $25.6 billion. This figure emphasizes the potential scale of the economic confrontation and highlights the importance of careful planning by Canadian officials. 1. Initial response. The first stage of the retaliation plan will be triggered immediately following any official announcement from Trump regarding tariff implementations. Canadian officials are poised to act promptly, ensuring that their response is timely and impactful. 2. Escalation of measures. Should the situation worsen or if the U.S. continues to escalate tariffs, Canada has prepared additional layers of restrictions. These might involve not only tariffs but also levies on specific sectors that are crucial to the U.S. economy, potentially targeting industries such as agriculture, automotive, and technology. 3. Long-term strategy. Beyond immediate retaliatory measures, Canada is also contemplating longer-term strategies to diversify its trade partnerships. This could involve strengthening ties with other countries and seeking new markets to reduce reliance on the U.S. economy. The implications of a trade war are multifaceted. Economically, both nations could face significant repercussions. Increased tariffs could lead to higher prices for consumers in both countries, disrupt supply chains, and ultimately slow down economic growth. Politically, the conflict could strain diplomatic relations between Canada and the U.S., traditionally characterized by cooperation and mutual benefit. Canadian officials are acutely aware of the need to balance assertive trade measures with diplomatic efforts to maintain a constructive dialogue. Canadian officials are proceeding cautiously, choosing to remain vigilant and wait for Trump's definitive actions before implementing their response. This approach underscores the importance of strategic timing in international trade relations. By observing the U.S. moves, Canada can tailor its retaliatory measures to be both proportional and effective. Senior government officials have emphasized the necessity of keeping details of these plans confidential until the appropriate moment. This secrecy is crucial to maintaining a tactical advantage in negotiations and ensuring that the response is not preemptively undermined. As Canada prepares for a potential trade war, the focus remains on safeguarding its economic interests while navigating the complexities of its relationship with the United States. The situation underscores the delicate balance between protectionism and free trade, with both nations facing the consequences of their decisions. The unfolding events will likely shape Canada's trade policies for years to come, influencing not only its relationship with the U.S., but also its position in the global economic landscape. The next steps taken by both governments will be pivotal in determining the future of trade between these two North American neighbors.